Hey guys, I just want to make a little brief video as a response to Matthew4Nineteen's video, Why Should I Become an Atheist? I've never really made a response video. My first video was kind of a response video, but more of a joke than anything. So bear with me. I'm going to tell you, Matthew, that I watched 2 response videos before I ever actually watched your video. Darren Kern 22 and Steve Shives' response to you. Both very good videos. They both made valid points, and I think their points were that the way you asked the question and the question that you asked really didn't make a whole lot of sense to them, as far as you maybe not understanding what atheism is. Darren Kern, you put a caveat that we couldn't bash Christian or religion or the Bible and so forth. And Darren Kern just felt like he had to talk about Christianity in order to explain why he's not a Christian. He thought the better question would have been, why aren't you a Christian? Steve Shives was saying that you don't become an atheist, you just are an atheist, because all it requires to be an atheist is your lack of belief that a God exists, that any God exists. And that's really it in a nutshell as far as atheism is concerned. We just don't believe a God exists. You said, why should you give up everything you love, and why should you give up everything that's important in your life? God, the Bible, your circle of friends, your circle of Christian friends, why should you give them up? If you believe that a God exists, then you shouldn't give that up. That's not for us to tell you. In our opinion, what we think, we've not seen proof that a God exists. So that's why we are atheists. And really, that's the only answer that could be given. We can't sell you on atheism. We can't sell you on the lifestyle of atheism, because there really is no atheist lifestyle. Being an atheist means you do not believe a God exists, period. The lifestyle that we live is individual to us. You commented that you've only been a Christian for 5 years, and that you lived sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle before that. That is the thing that I take issue with in your video. And you may not consider this a response to your question, but to me, you were implying that we are atheists because we want to live that lifestyle, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Those things, I lived that lifestyle long time ago. I was born and raised in a Catholic family. I went to Catholic school for 9 years. I will admit I have never really been a religious person. I did believe in God, and I did believe in a heaven and a hell, but I would never consider myself religious or a Christian. I always had a lot of questions. I was always pretty skeptical about things. But when I was living my sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle, it was when I was still believing that a God exists. My question to you is, when you were living that lifestyle, did you believe a God existed? You may not have been a Christian, because that is a lifestyle choice. Your Christianity is a lifestyle choice. Atheism in itself is not a lifestyle choice. Atheism is just that we don't believe a God exists because there's no evidence for us to believe that. So you tell me, before you became a Christian, before you chose the Christian lifestyle, did you believe a God existed, or were you an atheist then? And if you believed a God existed, did you believe in a heaven and a hell as well, when you were, living your sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle? That's what I'd like to know from you, because I still believed when I was doing all those things, when I was drinking and smoking cigarettes and doing drugs and going out and having one-night stands. I believed a God existed then. I believed in a heaven and a hell. It wasn't until after all that that I became an atheist that I realized there's no evidence that God exists. So I'm going to take the stand of an atheist. I think that's what you have to remember. Again, an atheist only believes that a God does not exist. There's no evidence to prove that a God exists. The lifestyle that we live, there's no atheist lifestyle. That's an individual thing for each and every person. I don't do any of those things. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't go out and have one-night stands. And I don't believe a God exists. I don't believe in a heaven or a hell. I live my life for my life, not for an afterlife. And I think that could be the difference that you're looking for, but I don't know. Thanks for your time.